So, about, I want to say 2 weeks ago, Politico released some leaked information that it came from the IRS, and it essentially had shown how the billionaires in this country and a lot of the millionaires paid very little in taxes. And I thought, like, this story in and of itself was groundbreaking and eye opening and jaw dropping and all of those things. And we knew a lot of it, but to actually have it there staring us in the face and seeing that somebody like Warren Buffett pays 0.1% in taxes. Jeff Bezos pays 0.98% in taxes. I thought that was massive and huge, and I actually wanted to cover that, and I wanted to talk about how the fact that it's completely evident in our face that the system is rigged. It's always built against us. It's controlled by the chosen few. If you are a middle class worker, if you're a small business owner, you're paying at times up to 48% in taxes. All my small business owners know what I'm talking about. If you're just a regular working collar Joe, you could be up into like the 21% in taxes.
Yeah, you're paying
How are
their
you
taxes.
how are you building wealth when you're taxed so much higher than a Warren Buffett or a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk and countless others? I mean, these are just the ones we know. The hedge fund, uh, you know, workers, the hedge fund traders, your um, money market managers, these kind of people. We don't even know their names, and they walk hand over fist with millions of dollars, and they pay very little in taxes. I really thought like that was the big story and something to cover. Well, then last week, Joe Biden catches wind of this story and he freaks out and he releases a message on a CNN interview where he says, "This is an outrage. This is a complete outrage. Something must be done." And at that point, I'm thinking, like, okay, all right, well, that's crazy. Fucking Joe Biden is in line with doing something about this tax situation. And his tone changed when he said, we should not, any, in America, that kind of information is private, and we need to find out who's responsible for leaking the
Yeah,
information, and they should be held accountable. Didn't get
I know.
no concern about, and I think Michael Bloomberg on this last one said that he paid 3.2% tax. No concern that Michael Bloomberg was the highest taxpayer in the top 5% of taxpayers. No, nothing like that. Hey, Warren Buffett only pays 0.1% of tax. No, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned with who released this information. I, I was floored that that was the response. Like, Sleepy Joe, your better response would have been nothing. Like, honestly. At least that's what I thought, until this is the same thing that mainstream media started running with. This is an assault on good, hardworking Americans. Their private information should be kept private, and you know what? It should be. If it was the average, middle class worker, even even in the top, anywhere in the 80% of Americans, 90%. But these people are different. They're the billionaires, they're the trillionaires. They're the ones who have all this money. Yeah, it's kind of important that we know that they pay zero in taxes. It's very important. And I was really let down by just the fact that not only would I say that the left, and when I say left, I mean Democrat left, I mean basically anti-Trump Republicans, uh, were fine with that. They were going along with this. The mainstream media, they were all, yeah, Joe Biden's right. We need to prosecute whoever leaked this information. And then, as late as Saturday, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans chimed in on this story. And they agreed with Joe Biden. The only thing that the Republicans and the Democrats can agree on is that the rich should not pay taxes and that we should hide that from the American people. It it's infuriating. honestly. And again, we're not dropping information that people don't know here. It's just the
If you
fact
have
that,
so much money that you can control a swath of the economy with a whim,
yeah, you don't need to
and
tell me. Yeah,
that's the,
you don't need to
there
argue
you
my.
should answer. Yeah, your information as far as your tax bracket you should almost lose that privilege of your financial privacy to a certain extent if you're that powerful. You become like a government entity on its own. So
That's
whether
true.
if
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
multi-billionaire, there should be oversight, special branch of the IRS that oversees and makes sure these people are at least paying what they should be paying. And obviously they're not. They're a protected class above and beyond anybody you can imagine. These people are literally untouchable physically and financially.
And we're talking trillions of dollars at the end of the day, annually. You know, I don't care how you break it down, the stimulus, the economy. Everyone has all these different takes on it. When Donald Trump did stimulus packages, it was great for the economy. Then when Joe Biden does it, it's causing inflation and the world's going to end. But at the end of the day, we spent, I think, a total of 9 trillion on COVID-19. In 3 years, we would have 9 trillion if we just tax the rich. And not tax them crazy. We're talking 20%. That's it. That's on par with what most Americans pay. If they just paid their fair share. And I mean, that's money going to military, that's money going to education, that's money going to all of these things that we care about. No, we're not going to
Yeah,
worry
and
about
this
it.
is a short list of people. I mean, literally, people who are multi-billionaires. There's only, maybe a couple hundred in the world. So, I mean, it's a short list of people, but that short list is also accompanied by a short list of tiny tax revenue that they get from these people.
And the
So
mil-
they don't lose any money at all, ever.
and the high end millionaires are below that, and at the same time, we give them tax money. We give, we give SpaceX and what's the Jeff Bezos, Blue Orchid,
Blue Origin.
Origin. That's it. They're actually getting money. Um, Actually, Jeff Bezos, another good example. He got tax credit. He got credit back from the government in his taxes because he has children. Jeff Bezos needs that. Come on, and again, like the culture war stuff, they're gonna, they go after the, what, the welfare queens and stuff like that. We never talk about the rich. We never prosecute them the way that they should be. And they're the biggest vampires in our economy. They're the biggest leeches.
Yeah, well, but it's because they're not visible. Nothing they do is visible. You said that the welfare queen who go feed all my 15 children, well, she's on video screaming at, at Child Protective Services or something. You don't even get a room with one of those billionaires unless you pay your way in. It's like lunch with Warren Buffett, that kind of
Right,
bullshit.
right. Well, but there again though, we have it right here. It's visible. And I would
Oh
say
yeah.
80%,
So tell me what this
80%,
information does. I mean,
it
it's more than just their.
breaks it all down, and it's actually really, really interesting. But my thing is 80% of the country doesn't care. The 20% that does care, probably 15 to 10 to 15% of it, actually they're fine with it. They're actually like good with it, like good. They're job creators. And then there's 5% of us that have a problem with it. I
Yeah,
almost
and for
guarantee you
those
it breaks
people who
down that
think
way.
it's anti-capitalist, you're crazy. These people exist outside of any American capitalism. They are separate. They are not your small, medium, or even big business owners. These aren't guys that own a few subways. These are people that literally employ millions of people. Jeff Bezos employs millions upon millions of people
I
by
believe
himself.
I believe Amazon has moved to being the biggest employer in America. I believe
I think they're
it's either
second.
one or
I
two.
think, yeah, they may be second. I would assume it's Walmart first, but I
Walmart's
don't.
one. Yeah.
yeah,
And of
but
course them
yeah,
too. They paid. very little in taxes. It was on there. Mike, it's just the system is rigged against us, and if my tax dollars go to the quote unquote welfare queen, which I hate using that term, but I don't care about that. But if my taxes go to cover the Waltons family's share, or Bezos, or Elon Musk, or any of them, yeah, I got a problem with that. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like at the you know when you break it all down, if you truly do care about this country, then you do want to give your fair share, and you want to do what you can to help this
And
country.
we should be worried, like you were saying,
Let me
top
finish this.
down
When you
instead of bottom up.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, we never worry about that. But when you look at a Warren Buffett or a Elon Musk or any of these rich people, like they are making our country worse instead of the rest of us who are contributing to this country. I think that's something that should be said and should be talked about way more. When Jeff Bezos, obviously, I don't care what kind of boogeyman you have. Jeff Bezos is the biggest boogeyman of a century. I mean, everything from worker abuse to tax fraud to being in line with the CIA, for God's sakes. This guy is a ghoul that should be hated. And he's
Yeah.
not. He's not. Most people don't hate him the way they should. Most people don't even think about him. And in fact, did you know more people have an Amazon Prime account than they do put up a Christmas tree? Think about that. Just
That's
think about how many people, and that's what, 114, $120 a year to have an Amazon Prime account?
I do.
You know? I mean, that's a lot of money just off that. Not alone, the
And
day.
Amazon's kicking Netflix's ass, so Netflix's days are numbered, if you ask me.
Ah, no, you hear that all the time. Netflix is fine. They're all fine because we all keep buying them. Like, that Pluto is the one I would be worried about. I don't know what their model is, but no, I just think like this is one of those stories that like fully breaks out what we do and who we are, and the outrage of what made me a populist left and what made you like the populist right. Like this is it.
Yeah.
This is the definition of why we're angry and the system that we want to change. But I'll let you have the final words, so to speak, Scott.
Well, we agree on so much here, and although I'm, when it comes to crypto, that's a weird subject that Elon's been kind of wishy-washy on. Who knows why?
Why you do that to
Um,
me? I let you go, and you have to pull me back in with little side story here. Elon Musk
I don't.
cost me personally about $3,000 because I had money in crypto. And Scott has pulled that thread twice in this like
Well, because
Elon.
I
Like,
wish
and
I
you're
had
right.
some
You're right.
crypto too, and I do think that that's a little wishy-washy. I don't know what his gain is on that. I mean, I do like Elon for the simple fact of he's the one pulling some good things, and I know having electric cars is a good thing, and no one else could pull it off until Elon did it.
I
And
have.
now everybody's saying the new Dodge is going to be the Tesla killer, and the new, it's like the new Porsche is. No, he made an industry. Everyone said that was too stacked against him and couldn't be done. He did it, and he's also done it with the rocket thing. Jeff Bezos is a failure when it comes to this rocket thing. That's what's
He,
even worse about him
Jeff
getting that money.
Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a failure in all regard. Like,
It's almost like he did it just
did
for like to say, well, I'm innovating too. See?
yeah, no, you're right. Did you see that thing though? Where he was under oath. The Senate was investigating um, Amazon, and if it's like 7 hours. It's so mind-numbingly boring. But the thing that you come away with is the fact that Jeff Bezos has absolutely no idea how Amazon works. He knows nothing about. He doesn't. He doesn't know the ins and outs. Like, as I said, it's an evil corporation, and he is now an American oligarch. But he just hired the right people who knew. Like, he must have had a pep talk, and he was like, guys, I want you to be the greediest, evilest, corporation and like every dirty trick you can think
Well, hey,
of,
that's exactly what Apple did. If Steve Jobs is held up as some kind of god, he was none of the above. He stole from everyone he could technologically, business plan wise. He just knew how to sell you your shit.
I heard
He knew
that,
how to
yeah.
talk to the people, and he all he did was get the best people and literally put them in a cage and say, whoever gets out of this cage alive with the best design in this, you'll get a bunch of money, and I'll let the rest of these people eat you alive. You'll never work in this industry again. He was a horrible slave driver, and there are many documentaries on his horrible behavior.
I think that's
But
the issue with a lot of these guys, though. Like, yeah,
yeah,
Jeff Bezos is a classic example of someone failing up. But then you start looking at a lot of them, even Warren Buffett. Like, he literally is the example of why don't you carry coal to Newcastle? That saying of go kick bricks, and him actually doing it and actually making money at it. Like, there's multiple accounts of Warren Buffett who on paper made horrible business decisions, but because of certain circumstances, it ended up working out for him. You know, Elon Musk example that I like to say is like I agree with you in a lot of those things that you were saying on the good things, and yeah, obviously personally he's cost me some money, but I don't like the fact that he's such good friends with the Hollywood elites, that he's him and Pelosi are good buddies. The fact, you could see as soon as Biden was confirmed, Pelosi dumped all this money into green energy, and then Biden, his first move was to give all these
right.
subsidies to green energy. And yeah, like that obviously Elon Musk, being buddies with Pelosi, had a huge role in saying, "Hey, why don't you make this shit happen?"
Yeah, I mean, there's that level of elitism that we can't even quite understand. And the only props I give Elon Musk is at least the things that he does, i.e., not the tunnel,
Right.
because everybody kind of was like, but his solar farms, his energy and his battery companies and stuff that have kind of made it, they're actually doing
Innovative.
great things
Yeah.
around the world in Australia and other places that don't have energy. The astronomers may hate his fucking satellites, and
I
I
no, I agree.
understand
I
why.
agree. Like what you're saying
But
though.
he's giving people in the middle of nowhere, like in Africa, like free internet.
Yeah.
Just like it's crazy.
No, Elon Musk he's a complicated one, right? I mean, I think one of the most interesting things, and yeah, I'm not gonna explain any of it. I'll just give you the search material. Uh, the guy who played, I don't know his name, Simon Hedberg, I think, or Helberg. He played Howard in Big Bang Theory. He met Elon Musk because Elon Musk would appear on the Big Bang Theory, and there was an interview with him, and he was talking about, he realized that he was talking with and associating with somebody who could get a hold of, at the time, Secretary Hillary Clinton, and could make big things happen, but at the same time, he was a socially awkward, like almost, guy who was like, he's playing that game, but you couldn't figure out, like, is he playing the game because he knows how to play it, or because he's playing the role of playing the game, and he's more concerned with the innovation, all that stuff. So it's a really actually interesting interview, completely off base, but
Yeah, he almost needs a translator sometimes.
yes,
When he's talking, and I think he's a genius, and I think he's also got a million ideas, and he's probably ADD and Asperger's and
I agree.
who
Yeah.
knows what else. But
No, yeah.
yeah, and then he has a non-marriage, which I don't have a problem with, baby
Who
with
cares? Yeah.
Grimes. Where the I'm just like, where did that come? I
Where did
didn't
those
see
two? Yeah.
him. It's just the world of elites is so different from what we think these people and how they operate. It's like a whole nother level where a lot of these things that we would think fundamentally and ideologically they would have issues with each other, they seem not to, and it's weird.
No, you're right. They don't care. They don't get caught
Yeah,
up on. They don't care about the culture war crap.
that's the plebe
They don't.
talk. We
They
don't
don't
do plebe talk here.
Yeah. They don't care about left versus right, blue versus red. They don't care about abortion. They care about money. They care about changing the
Yeah.
world, and that's why I say that's one of the things that like just drives me insane is the culture war bullshit. Yeah, we can battle back and forth on abortion all day, but guess what? It's never gonna change. So that'd be the same shit
Yeah,
that
they could care less. It's that
yeah,
breakaway society that's kind of like, the if everything goes really bad, those people have already got a plan and they've already got
right.
infrastructure that you've never even heard of.
And that's what makes it difficult because you do have a person like Elon Musk or even Warren Buffett. I've read stories that like he's actually a pretty good dude. Yeah, you have, and you say like, well, no, I kind of like that guy, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, pay your goddamn taxes. That's the only thing that I'm really saying. Ultimately, I don't, I mean, aside from like Michael Bloomberg and Jeff Bezos, those two guys specifically, I think should not. I'm not
Yeah,
calling for their head on a stake or anything, but um, we need to understand how evil those guys actually are and how nefarious
yeah, and
those
we
two.
need to be
But
directing our anger at the politicians who control and where this money goes and where we decide as a democracy where this tax money should be
mhm,
appropriated
yeah,
instead of having to say we don't have the tax money to begin with and we should have.
agreed, 100%. Anyway, we will be uploading two more segments tomorrow. It'd be Scott's day. Scott gets to do the uh, the agenda. These two for today remind. This is kind of the way we're gonna be doing the show for a while. We're just gonna do like almost daily drops or every other day. A lot of personal issues going on that makes it so we can't do a full show all at once. So this is the way we have to do it. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, guys. Take care.